I'm going to share with you 5 fragrances in my collection that to me smell of either cheap and poor quality, smell generic and uninspiring, or just smell plain unpleasant. Now this should go without saying, but I'm going to say it. If you have and enjoy any of the fragrances that I'm going to share, please continue loving them. Here's a universal piece of life advice. Don't let anyone's unfavorable opinion of something that you have and truly love influence how you feel about it. Stand firm in your beliefs and your tastes. And in case you're wondering, no, I'm not giving away these 5 fragrances, at least not in this video. And for kicks, I'm gonna provide an alternative to each one of the 5 fragrances that I prefer a whole lot more. Some of them will be more expensive than their counterparts. But as I always say, you should not even concern yourself with the price of a full bottle until you concern yourself with the price of a decant. And then if you try that decant and you absolutely love it,
just like that, the full bottle's worth the price.
And in all cases where the alternative costs more, I truly believe that you're getting what you pay for as far as quality goes. So let's dive right into it. In no order, first up here, Dolce & Gabbana K Eau de Toilette. This falls under the generic and uninspiring category for me. It's clean, it's musky, it's fresh, definitely smells blue, and it does not set itself apart from anything that came before it or after it. I do have another fragrance that I'm actually not proposing as an alternative that smells similar but actually has a little bit more nuance to it, and that is L'Homme Rochas. I highly prefer that one over this one. But what I'm going to suggest instead of this is even higher quality, and I truly believe you get what you pay for while retaining that clean, easy wearability. This is from Precious Liquid. It's called Blue Agave. And this is a fresh blue woody fragrance that has gotten me a lot of positive feedback in a very surprising way. Most times I wear this, I have someone stopping me and asking me, what do you have on? And it always surprises me. I'm like, man, it smells special to you? It is a really high quality, easy to wear, versatile, slightly aquatic leaning freshie, but not really aquatic. It's a little bit green and blue at the same time. It's salty. There's a nice lime note. There's some woods and aromatics. Again, easy to wear. Even though it is quite expensive, for those of you that tend to equate performance with the dollar amount, you're getting that here. This is a great performing freshie, especially since they've added it to the limited collection. I think they've oomphed it up somehow. Anyway, that is Precious Liquid Blue Agave. There might be a few of you guys who really like this. Honestly, I just got this and tried it for the first time recently. I've been way behind on this entire collection. I don't have any plans to try the rest of the collection, but from Carolina Herrera, this is Bad Boy. And this bottle, no, regardless of that, this is a very generic, kind of sweet, fresh, boyish scent. Tonka bean, cacao, some kind of freshness to it. It smells kind of clubby. It smells young, teen-like, juvenile. Definitely pleasant. Definitely something that will have people around you thinking you smell nice as long as you don't overspray. But if you're looking to not smell like everything on the Macy's fragrance counter, then I would avoid this one. But I'm not telling you what you should avoid. I'm just telling you this is not for me. So what do I recommend instead? Yet again, something a little bit pricier, but I think you're getting more nuance, more quality, just as much wearability, and just as much attractiveness, honestly. From the house of Tom Ford, we have Noir Extreme Parfum. I would also recommend the original Noir Extreme, which I think is an EDP, doesn't matter, but I would recommend that too. Either one of these are just so much more interesting while still being just as wearable as Bad Boy. They don't smell the same by any means, but they occupy a similar function in space. They are sweet, kind of delicious smelling, warm, spicy, inviting, maybe even a little tiny bit more luxurious. But honestly, I think you can wear this anytime during the cooler months on a night out, the same way you would wear Bad Boy. It's going to be just as attractive, but again, don't overspray it. Honestly, it's probably a little bit stronger, so just keep that in mind. Tom Ford Noir Extreme Parfum. I'm going to link this and all my alternatives down in the description below. Now we have a niche fragrance here, and honestly, this is from a house that you never ever hear about. And I have one other fragrance from this house that I really enjoy. This one did not make it for me. This just simply smells unpleasant to me. Not poorly put together or anything, but there is some kind of association that it's triggering. I can't even place it, but I don't like this fragrance. I'm sorry, but I'm not really sorry because I'm just being honest. This is from an Italian house called Farmacia SS Annunziata. It's called Bergamundi. It is a bergamot based fragrance. It's a cologne style fragrance, kind of bergamot, maybe white florals, fresh, bright, very musky. And maybe it's the musk in here I don't like. The way it blends with the bergamot bergamot doesn't come across the way I love bergamot. It's not juicy, it's not fruity, it's not really citrusy. It makes it almost smell like some kind of household cleaner to me. And unfortunately, for as high quality as I can say this fragrance is, the way it comes together does not smell good to me. So again, I'm not saying it's bad, don't try it. Again, this is just my taste, doesn't work for me, but what would I recommend instead? If you're looking for a cologne style fragrance in the Italian vein, at least if I'm looking for one, I would prefer to wear Colonia Futura from Acqua di Parma. This is super wearable. This has beautiful layers to it. It has heritage built into the scent. It is based on the original Colonia DNA. I think I talked about this fragrance in a recent video, and that DNA is over 100 years old, but completely timeless. This is citrusy, herbal, woody, smells elegant, smells sophisticated, but it does have a light brightness to it, which makes it easy to wear casually on a warm day. But when you want to have a little bit more refinement, classy fresh, that is Colonia Futura from Acqua di Parma. And this one is easy for me. This is a clone, and it just does not measure up to what it's cloning. It smells scratchy. It smells cheap. You can buy it for very little money. And if you know anything about profit margins, if you can buy it for the amount of money you can get it for, how much do you think it cost them to make it? And you can tell by the scent if you're asking me. This is called Elegante. It's from Paris Corner. I'm not a big clone guy. I'm not into this house and all the clones they make. To me, you can smell that there's corners cut, that they're not really sourcing the ingredients in the same way. They're not composed in the same way. On the outside, they look beautiful. This bottle is actually really nice. It's heavy, thick glass. I love the frosted nature. It is a metal cap. You know, they put some stuff at least into the presentation, but the scent does not measure up if you're asking me. And some of you already know what this is cloning. Some of you may not, but if you're not sure, you can probably use context clues to see what this might remind you of, and that is Xerjoff Naxos. And simply, I would just say, get Naxos. Better yet, get a decant of Naxos. You're better off just getting the original in this case. This is just superior. It's closer to the vibe than this thing that is trying to get close to the vibe, because this is the vibe. So just get the vibe. This is fresh aromatic honey tobacco. Some people say it smells kind of sickly. Honestly, I used to feel the same way. When I spray moderately, I don't get that vibe. It's definitely more palatable and a whole lot more enjoyable, but be careful. If you smell this up close, it might smell a little bit medicinal in a way. And again, no guarantees you're gonna love it, but I can just easily say in most cases, not just exclusive to this pairing, I recommend getting a decant of the OG before you just grab the low-hanging fruit of the clone. That's just me. Some of you guys have heard me say that before. Some of you guys are already doing this, but I'm always going to say that. Get the OG and then maybe get the clone if the OG is not measuring up or you're just curious. Anyway, that is Xerjoff Naxos. And the final fragrance is from the house of Emporio Armani. It's pleasant, it's uninspiring, it's generic. There's so many fragrances that do this and do it better, and my alternative is definitely one that does it better if you're asking me. This is from the Stronger With You line, the only one in the line that I actually own. I've never been enamored enough with the line, even the original, to go out and get it. It smells nice, but I'm not going to own it at any time. This is Stronger With You Amber. This is kind of like a roasted, smoky smelling, warm, sweet, ambery vanilla type of vibe. It just comes together as this congealed generic sweetness, and it's something you've smelled before. It's not special. That's all I'm really going to say about it. Uninspiring. What is my alternative? A fragrance that I've loved since first sniff. It is a smoky, roasted, woody vanilla with some apple, maybe some saffron, just enough nuance and interplay, and just the way it's composed, it is just superior in every way possible. Yes, it's more expensive, but heed what I said at the beginning of the video. Get a decant first, see what you think. You're probably going to pay less for that decant than you would for a full bottle of the Stronger With You, and you might like this more and might want to get the full bottle of Vertus Vanilla Oud. Yes, there was a lot of hype around this last year. This is just better. It's just better. You can tell by how the scent enters your nostrils and kind of lingers as you complete your inhale. You can just smell quality in a textural way. When you start getting into these higher quality scents, there's a texture to them, almost velvety smooth. It doesn't hit you all at once. It's just this blah. It comes at you slowly. It just smells elegant. It smells luxurious. It smells expensive in the air, and it smells very attractive. You get what you pay for as far as performance goes. Again, for those of you guys that really equate that dollar amount to longevity and noticeability, it is here. You're going to smell delicious in a very intriguing and very enigmatic way. So freaking beautiful. Let me know if you guys dig this stuff. There's a link to a sample down below. That is Vertus Vanilla Oud. Miles better than Stronger With You Amber, if you're asking me. All right, I want to know what you think down in the comments. If your feelings were hurt, please pause, take a sip of water, go for a walk, come back, and then we can talk about it, because there's no need to get emotional about these beautiful glass bottles of liquid. Emotions aren't required. Thank you so much for tuning in. Peace. I'll see you in the next one.